announcements. Quickly, I'll try to make 3 suggestions here. First of all, there's a need, I think, to move beyond event-based reporting. When I say event-based reporting, I'm referring to cases like alleged suicide of the candidate accused, and the job placement in Tihar of former inmates, and juveniles languishing in Tihar jail. At the backdrop of all these events, if we go, we try to find what's happening behind this situation. We'll see there's either a law or rule book which is in dire need of change or reform, or a very good law which is being implemented very poorly, or negligence on the part of government or the prison authorities. So I think we should move more and more beyond events and also try and find out what is leading to those events. So among the journalism fraternity, and also when we get in touch with any journalist, I think we should pitch a lobby to go beyond event-based reporting and also try and write about the infrastructural issues on, this is issue-based reporting. It will be a challenge for media people to, do some issue-based reporting and yet make the article very crisp and readable and relevant. But I think it's something which is very much doable. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is, I think there's a lack of reference or resource material for journalists in the country here. I'll give 2 quick examples here. There are juveniles in Tihar, which are open secret. And last year, Delhi High Court also ordered NCPCR and DNSA to do a head count of these juveniles and then ship them to observation homes. And they were tried under the JJB and not under the IBC. But is the presence of juveniles in Tihar a recent phenomenon? Why are they there? What does the law say about verifying the age of someone before admitting him or her to a prison? Now, what are the documents required to prove juvenility? That's one example. Second example, which is about Delhi gang rape, is that one of the alleged accused committed suicide. There was a news report there. And there were reports which said that he was under suicide watch. And despite being under suicide watch, he would commit suicide. But is suicide watch a term which is technically there in the rule book of the jail? Or is it something which was coined by a lawyer or advocate and it is used loosely? We don't know. Now, what happens when a reporter is not aware of such technicalities? Either we don't write about them, or we end up writing which is something factually incorrect. A lot of activists, friends of mine, believing that you want everything ready-made. You don't want to do research, you want us to tell you each and everything. The problem with us is that we work under strict guidelines, especially especially for people who are working for news portals and newspapers. Even if we try and, do some background checks and try and find out what does the law say about it, we don't have a lot of time to do such things in many cases. The suggestions I want to give here is that we, and when I say we, I mean to say lawyers, activists, NGOs, and journalists, can jointly develop a resource book or a handbook on prison reforms and includes subjects of these topics after discussion among ourselves. For example, say breakup of prison population, or in terms of female prisoners or children, juveniles, and different castes and minorities, or important judgments, statistics, RTI responses, budget allocation, security apparatus in different prisons. And we can update this manual on a regular basis. Now imagine the kind of impact a news article will be having when we include these facts and figures and court judgments, we cite these court judgments in a news article. I think that's going to be a very solid and credible news story as compared to a story which just ends with a case study and nothing more than that. That's second suggestion that there. Third thing I want to talk about is the accountability of media. And again go back to Delhi gang rape trial because this is something which caught the attention of the entire country. There were a lot of news reports about the juvenile accused in this case. And a lot of reports told us whenever there was a mention of the juvenile accused, the news reports and a lot of papers, including 15 years dead now of the main companion who was there in the bus that night, of all the eyewitnesses, of everyone. There's not even a single sentence in the entire charge sheet which makes us believe that the juvenile accused was the most barbaric. But despite this, there were reports after reports after reports which made us believe that he was the one who was leading them all. But I don't think anything happened to those reporters or editors of those newspapers who published such reports. So I think reporters and editors needs to be questioned a lot more in various forms, in form of a notice or a defamation case or an email or show-cause notice or whatever it takes. I think we should do whatever it takes to stop such kind of inaccurate reporting or reporting which is based on any substantial fact. The last thing I want to say is about reporters' access to prisons. Well, access is a big issue. I want to write about something happening inside the prison. Almost every source which I have is a secondary source. And also I either go to someone who is a regular visitor to the prison, some lawyer or a legal aid provider, or I refer to a document, for example, the book written by Mr. Gilani here, or I'll be basing all my stories, on whatever information I have from secondary sources. I want to go and investigate what is happening. I don't think I can really do that. But there are two judgments, Prabhat judgment case and Sheila Barsay case, where the court has upheld the right of reporter and citizens to access information and interview prisoners. But I don't know what the law say about it. What I'm saying is that there are judgments, but I'm saying give me 1 point access to jail authorities. Tell me if I want to visit jail authorities, this is when I have to write a letter. I should get a response in these many